Spurs. Yeah.
Through my veins, on the pitch where the glory remains, the cockerel stands brave on the crest. North London pride, this ain't no jest. From Lane to the new shining ground, where the legends are found. Heroes carved in the heart of time. We march on through grit and grime. Oh, Tottenham, Tottenham, till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Oh, Tottenham, Tottenham, till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Echoes of King and Greaves in the air. Every goal, the sound declares. Heartbeats pound like a drummer's song, marching forward, fierce and strong. We're the ones who rise in the clash. Numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in the roaring crowd. Every game we scream it loud. I'm Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. We're the ones who rise in the clash. Numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in the roaring crowd. Every game we scream it loud. I'm Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire.
Welcome back to THFC Till I Die, the home of Tottenham past, present, and an uncertain future on the Thomas Frank. Where I'm just waiting here, checking if VAR can rule the entire match offside. Okay, no then. Right then, let's get into it. Why Tottenham refused to win and why I refuse to learn my lessons. North London derby is over. So is my will to live, to be fair. And honestly, Spurs showed the defensive structure of a wet board. North London derby, more like North London demolition. Because this this post-match show is going to be more ruthless than our back line and then Thomas Frank is on a wet Monday morning. Guys, welcome to the show. Welcome to the post-match show. I like that one. That's my best one yet, I have to say. Joining me, of course, we've got two lads from the other side of North London. Yeah. They came in the dark.
I couldn't hear that. I couldn't hear that.
They came in like Boise. They came in the dodgy three-wheeler yellow van. And they're the people Boise talks about and only fools and horses. You want to know who it is? It ain't the Trotters. It's these two down below. But joining me, of course, is my wingman, my assistant manager, the man that used to own the football club. So he keeps telling me. It is the one and only Tequila Simon Jordan, 99 or 66 or 316. Tequila, how are you, bud?
I'm okay. I'm just getting prepared to get hammered by these two guys below. Go on then, come on.
This is going to be a cakewalk compared to what I had to go in through last night. Believe me, last night was bad. Last night was twice as bad. But of course, joining down the two gentlemen of South London, of course they are. They've snuck over the borders. They've showed their passports. They've showed their identification cards. Brenny bribed someone to let him into North London. Nick just escaped over the wall. Yes, Tottenham did build a wall. It is the one and only Nick and Brenny. Nick, how are you, sir?
Yeah, not bad, thank you. Obviously, what a result from our perspective yesterday. I mean, I feel for you, Derm. Your intro, your video showed more heart and more impetus than your team yesterday, and that is just you know, I really feel for you guys. I mean, as the empathetic sort of part of my football fandom, rivalry aside, I feel it. Well, I feel like if we were close together, we'd be sat in a pub right now, kind of helping you through it with a pint and like, come on, mate, it's okay.
I'll tell you one thing: we should do a North London podcast if I'm ever in London from the pub. We actually should do that. That would be good crack. And of course, next to you, Nick, this man needs no introduction the world over. He is the bravest policeman in North London. He did nick the entire Tottenham squad yesterday for speeding. That was driving to the stadium, and then he clamped their van. So if anyone wants to blame why we played cheat yesterday, it's his fault. We're blaming him. But he is this Arsenal fan who likes to wear links, the best a man can get. It is my mate. He's your mate, but he's my mate as well. It's Brenny. How are you, Brenny, bud?
I'm good. I'm good. Still buzzing after yesterday. Thought we should have had more goals. And
you're never happy, are you?
What's that?
You're never happy. I mean, you won 4-1. What more do you want?
Hey, I'm a Star Trek fan, right? I'm like the Borg. I want perfection. You know what I mean?
Oh God!
You know,
can we just make?
We were assimilated. We were assimilated yesterday. Don't worry about it, Brenny.
Yeah. Resistance is futile.
I know. Yeah, there was no 7 and 9. There was no Hugh Borg. You know, didn't need them.
You are more than welcome to add Richie to your collective, and you can keep them. Cheers, guys.
I thought he was like your best player. At least he showed a little bit, you know.
Yeah, look, he had a good goal, but he did nothing else for the other 99% of the game. But that 1 second was great.
I mean, at one point, Tequila was texting me. He said, "I cannot give any more, Jim. I cannot give any more."
Can it take it, Captain? Yeah.
Yeah, we had James as Mr. Spock telling them, "I'm going to be logical about this." Philip Brady was acting as Bones, just losing his plot in his doctor's part.
Football, Jim, but not as we know it.
Yeah. I was just Jim Kirk, just sitting there thinking, right, let's go for it. I want to fight now. But let's get into it. How's the engines pairing today, Tequila? Can we make the show? Do you think?
She hadn't got where it is, Captain. Yeah.
All right. We're gonna try to make this a laugh.
Oh, lithium crystals. Yeah, we ain't got none.
Yeah. I'll tell you what engine you lot had yesterday, and it didn't work. I mean, you got Thomas a Frank engine. I mean, Annie and Clarabelle did nothing for you lot on the touchline. There was no Gordon. Henry didn't come on as subs. I was waiting for Percy to appear as well, but he was told that he had to wear white, and he loves wearing green. So what's going on?
I can't even cut. Do you know what? Every bit of me, Tequila, wants to bite back at this, but do you know what? I'm too embarrassed to.
Genuine question.
You just got to take it, mate. You just have to.
Genuine question. So, just like like we have like the wider football and everything else.
Yeah.
Thomas Frank has prepared the Tottenham team.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that was a game plan that failed to execute? So it fell apart on the pitch, or that it fell apart when it was devised? What do you think as Tottenham fans? Where did it fall? Do you think that it was the wrong game plan, or poorly executed by the players on the pitch, or both?
I think it was poorly executed, but when they made it in the pub. Go on, Tequila. I'll let you answer that one.
I actually think, mate, that, and it seems weird you saying, I think you guys are not giving yourselves enough credit.
Yeah.
I was going to come on to that. I've got a bit that I was going to come on to.
Yeah, don't give an Arsenal fan.
You opened the door. You cracked the door.
Yeah, you actually take the piss.
Oh no, please.
Yeah, go for it, mate.
I think there is an element where there has to be credit to the winning team for what they did.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's always easy to beat on the loser, rather than acknowledging the strength of the victor as such. And I think when you are a Tottenham team and your form has been up and down the last, 2-2 with United, you beat Copenhagen convincingly, you was turgid against Chelsea. There's another result where you just narrowly lost. And when it's up and down, you can't be confident. I don't believe you can have true confidence on the pitch, right? It's something that snowballs. And when you're coming up against Arsenal, I think for you guys, you're robbed of that. You're not allowed to, as our rivals almost, you're not allowed to park the bus and double. I know you had 7 defensive players, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't the low block we've been facing all season, Bren. Would you say that? Would you agree with that?
I agree with that. I agree with
and
that.
I think it's like, Tottenham, we've got to go and play them. And you came with a half truth. You didn't quite park the bus, but you didn't. You were very defensive, if that makes sense, and you tried to play. And I just think what we executed, we done really, really well. I think we just done all of our bits well, and I think that was just. I know it's Derby Day, and I've got to say, hands up, I feel Tottenham in this past 24 hours have come in for more stick than the performance United turned out against City.
Yeah,
there was, nobody raised that. None of those United players looked like they believed they could win that match and put it about. They completely surrendered that game, and radio silence. And here we are with Tottenham, and it's the manager's got to go and rah rah rah. And I think sometimes, you can lose a game, and sometimes you are well beaten, but that is kind of the reality of the situation. Arsenal built over 4 years, 5 years, 6 years to be in this situation, and we're just at different stages. I honestly believe that's kind of where it is.
I've got a theory on it, Nick. I think one of the reasons why is, you're right, it's been, maybe you could say, overly harsh, but I think because it was so close to the Chelsea performance, that's like the two big. That's like the two big no-nos.
Yeah,
like the only other one I can think of is West Ham. Those are the 3 teams really for us, right? If you don't try in those 3 games, it's real bad. And the fact that there's that twice in a row now, XGs of 0.05 against Chelsea and ever so slightly better against you, both pathetic, both records for us. So it's not as simple, I think, because of that. There's so many different factors. If the Chelsea game would have been 6 months ago, maybe that would have been different. It's a couple of weeks. They're so close to each other that it's just all kind of come together. So that I think it's kind of built on each other. I think that's my theory anyway. To try.
I think you missed Madders yesterday.
Yeah, we did. We missed Madders. We missed Kulu. We did miss a lot. Talk about XG. Our XG was 0.12 against Chelsea. It's now been rounded up because I think they're sorry for us. So but being Tottenham, these are the stats from yesterday. I mean, you did batter us all over the place. I mean, Tequila, look at the XG from yesterday. I mean, you take that dot out there, Tottenham are actually 007 with James Bond of North London. I mean...
It is pathetic. I mean,
it is pathetic.
Even though you guys are probably going to win the league this year, right? And I think we have to accept that, but still, there's no excuse. There's no excuse for that. That XG is just... There's no excuse for it, dude. There isn't. There's no excuse for it.
57.4% Arsenal, 42.6% for Tottenham, 17 total shots for Arsenal, 3 for Spurs, 8 on target for Arsenal, only 2 for Tottenham. Richarlison's 1. I can't remember the other one, to be fair.
There was a shot from the edge of the box on the left-hand side and straight at the keeper.
I missed that one.
One of your subs, I think.
Was it? Oh, yeah. Okay, I must have missed that one. 7 off target, 1 off target for Tottenham. XG 1.93 for Arsenal, 0.07 for Tottenham. I think that XG proves that we were so bad in front of goal where you were so good. So, I don't think the XG really... I think, if anything, the XG shows how bad we were in that game, if you're looking at the stats. Other bit of stats we've got here: passing 448, 81% for Arsenal, 330, 76% for Tottenham, 70% tackles for Arsenal, 12, 57% for Tottenham. Aerial duels, 15 for Arsenal, 14 for Spurs. Distance covered, 112.16 kilometers for Arsenal, 103.53 kilometers for Tottenham. And this one really gets me.
Yeah.
Touches in the
Yeah.
opposition boxes, 27 for Arsenal, 4 for us. I mean,
Pathetic.
that's dreadful.
Pathetic.
And the last bit of stats before we go back to that one. Oh yeah,
Mhm.
sorry, where is it? Is at the end here. This was our worst stats game for 10 years.
Wow.
We have played 392 Premier League games since the start of the 15-16 season, and yesterday was our worst stats in a Premier League game for 10 years. Tequila, I'll start with you, bud. I don't know, to get the Arsenal lads. I mean, that is just damn right disgusting, isn't it?
Yeah, and like I said to Nick, it's like you're combining that with the Chelsea results. I mean,
Yeah.
Even though I'm not quite on the Frank out chain, I can't.
Come and join me. It's lonely here.
Yeah, I can't. I can understand why people are, because we've gotten rid of managers for less.
Not the answer anymore. Yeah.
Like Nuno, Nuno is the biggest comparison, but Nuno was more or less gone by now, Dermo. So what's the difference? What's the difference this time? I'm not saying I want him out. I'm trying to work out why are we giving Frank more patience than Nuno when I think they're very, very similar in what they did in their careers before Spurs. They're actually quite parallel. They're quite similar. Why are we being more patient this time? Because because we had a worse season last year. Is that the reason why? Because we got
probably. But look, the one thing is Thomas Frank under severe pressure. I mean, look, is this the first real red flag of his era? And I'd like to get your guys know. I mean, I'll start with you, Nick. I'll go around to Tequila. I go last if that's all right, bud, and then I'll do it the other way around for the next one. But Nick, is this the first? I mean, from Europe, I know you're an Arsenal fan, but as a football fan, you take your Arsenal fan off. Is this the first real red flag of his era? I think it is.
I think if we wasn't your local rivals, this game may be painted in a different light. I said in your earlier stream, and and Brenny knows my views on this. When it because I've said it in chats loads of times. When it comes, I'm very realistic and pragmatic. When it comes to the season, and you look at the fixtures lists, I believe every top team, and that could be 7th upwards, 6th upwards, 5th upward, 4th upward, should expect going into big matches. The objective of that match is to win your home games. When you go away from home, you can expect the other big team to expect to win their home matches. If you get a draw away from a home, you've done your job because you've denied them the extra 2 points and you've gained a bonus point. If you lose, I would say that's par for the course. If you win, you've been exceptional. You've done more than you should expect. You've gone out there and you've got 3 points at the home of a big rival. This is just being really pragmatic. Yesterday, I didn't have that down as a 1 point game for Tottenham fans. I had that down as 3 points for Arsenal. I believe that Arsenal should have won that game. I think Tottenham fans, if you switched it out for another club, they would have said 3 points for Arsenal. And if you took the form of Tottenham and deleted Tottenham from the table and wrote in another name, whatever club you want to pick, going into that match, I think you would say that's 3 points to Arsenal. I think it's the manner of Arsenal's dominance that irks more than, well, no, because the result, let's face it sucks arse losing to your rivals. But I think it's the manner of Arsenal's dominance that hurts as much as the defeat. And I think had that been another club, like you were playing City or Liverpool last season, going on challenging for the title, you'd say you might be a bit more frame it as though, okay, we're not quite there yet. That's the team's challenging for the title. We're on our way there. Man, that was an awful percent. We've got to turn up in these games. I think you'd be slightly, but because it's Arsenal, it accentuates everything. I don't know if I've answered your question there, but I've tried to.
I think you have. I mean, Brenny, look. I would say you and me have seen more Northland derbies than Nick and the other Nick, Tequila, together. You and me have seen them, back in the day, back in the early 80s, where Tony Adams or Graham Roberts and Have you ever seen a Tottenham manager set up a team so defensive at your ground at Highbury, either Highbury or the Emirates?
Or the Emirates. Oh,
Highbury. Go back to Highbury if you want.
nope. I will. Yeah, I'll go back to Highbury. No, I've never seen it.
Yeah.
Seriously. Let's get, for example, Martin Jol. I've never seen him do that before. David Pleat, no. Peter Shreves, no. Terry Venables, no.
Keith Burke.
Who?
Keith Birkinshaw. Never.
Yeah,
He wants
yeah,
17
no,
like that.
exactly. But then again, when Keith, I mean, I'll admit this, and you know, I'm as real as I am. When Keith Birkinshaw was in charge of Spurs, you were better than us, and I've never seen anything like yesterday. That they and then that thing we said where form goes out the window. Well, form stayed in the stadium. It didn't go out of the stadium window. You know what I mean? So no, I was a bit surprised he set up like that, because Frank likes to pick teams off, just like, you know, in his Brentford days, and he would just pick you off on the counter, and he had the players to do it. Soak up all the pressure, go with the low block. I actually thought that's what he was going to do yesterday, and just soak it up, and then try and hit us on a break. You know, but I thought our line was a little higher than normal yesterday. It's like we didn't even have to step back. You know what I mean? It was like, wow. You know, I think that's why we conceded that goal, because Raya decided he was going to go into centre midfield. But you know
I have to say, if that goal was in any other North London derby, that'd be probably one of the great goals remembered for a long time. I mean, Tequila. Look, you know, I'm Frank out. I want him gone. I'm not going to support this manager any longer. I'm not going to flog a dead horse. I'm not the only one. We've got PSG on Wednesday, and then we've got Fulham next Saturday. If we don't get wins in the next two games, Tequila, how much under pressure will Thomas Frank be?
Before I answer that, Demo, can I just bring it back to something that Brenny just said?
Yeah, of course you can, bud.
The whole... It used to be correct. I used to believe that, what he said about form in the London derbies don't matter. You know what? I think that was true when both sides, but obviously I'm talking more about the Tottenham side, had players who cared about their club. So I don't, like I said, you can probably answer the Arsenal side more, but for us, the Spurs, you know, now that Sonny's gone, I don't think one of them gives it an S at all about that being a London derby. The performance and the work rate and how much they tried in their heart, as me and Dermo talked about earlier, suggests to me that's exactly it. So why would form not be exactly the same? Because none of our players treated it any differently than a normal game. There was nothing special about them. Because none of them cared.
Yeah,
none of them cared, mate.
Keita, we had that year as well where we had players that didn't give a damn about the derby. I'm talking about late in the later years of Wenger. Later years of Wenger, a lot of them didn't care, except our Haaland boys. And Aaron Ramsey, who's a Cardiff fan, but he cared. You know, and
he got it.
And to a point, so did Alexis Sanchez. He cared about it as well. But I totally get your point. I mean, it was the first time I can remember in a while where we had it was the last season, but everybody got it in terms of the North London derby. I'm not talking about our Highlanders, because we know they get it already, and obviously Eze's back with us now, but our overseas players got it. Yes, they really did.
It matters to Gabriel. You know, he turns up at that game, and he's just like it runs through him. You know,
Gabriel acts and carries on like he's a Highlander.
Yeah, he's an Arsenal fan.
Yeah, you know that's Gabriel.
We don't have any of them, mate. And I think, and if you didn't believe me before, I think you've just seen the proof of that. This team, our team, Spurs, have got no heart, and that's the part that hurts me personally the most. I don't mind losing to you guys, and to be honest, I'm used to it. I'm used to losing to you guys, right? Just like I'm used to losing to Chelsea. But what I can't stand is no heart.
Yeah, I
think
get you. I hear it. I think that's
And I think that's
fan.
we might be rivals, but I think universally football fans,
that's a universal thing.
you ask 90% of fans, and they'll take losing, but they won't take lack of fight. They will not accept that, and that is the biggest crime. So far.
When you go back in your over your fandom, boys, apart from like, let me kind of take two different players. Henry, we loved him because he was mercurial, he was brilliant, he was everything. You know, he gave us those moments. You love and you guys have got players like that you can talk about. But then there are also players that you love that fight for the badge, and they are just. And I've mentioned it before. Rival fans might not go, oh yeah, I would sign that player.
Yeah.
But as fans, we'd never let them go. So we're talking about your Ray Parlers, you know, your Martin Keowns, your Lee Dixons, your Nigel Winterburns, you know, all of these sort of players that loved the club, and they fought for it and all the rest of it. And they weren't your spectacular players always, but they were the ones that really fought and dug in. And we've all got those players that we love. And I think it's important that every squad, when you're going out there and you're putting a squad together, particularly this is what I feel like, I think Takeda's absolutely spot on. You need at least 4 players that bleed the club.
Yeah.
They bleed for the club. And if you've got that, if you can get that into your spine and your team, they're the players that when you're 1-0 down or you're 1-1 and they're hurting, they run that little bit more. They track back that little bit faster. They get up when the ref hasn't blown for them. You know, do you know what I mean? It's all of those sort of things.
I think it's down to recruitment.
Yeah,
it's down to recruitment, isn't it? And we haven't been great at recruitment.
Because on paper, I respect your squad. It's like the United squad. I respect the United squad. It is just the right system with the right mentality can completely transform both clubs.
I mean, it's I get what you're getting there. Can you making some good points? It's recruitment, isn't it? I can't remember. I don't know if Tequila can. Well, no one. I can't remember a player. It's saying the last 10 years that would bleed for this football club. I rarely can. I have to go back to the 90s, back to Paul Allen or like a David Howes or Steve Sedgley.
I don't know. Kane, Harry Kane.
I think Kane and Son.
Sonny would.
Those two. Kane and I think Dermo's a little bit harder than Kane because Kane wanted to leave, and I think that tarnished him a little bit in a lot of fans' eyes. But overall, I think he cared. I think Sonny cared. I don't think any of these guys care.
I think Sonny cared more than Kane, to be fair.
Maybe so, but so that's 2. But I can't go much further than you, Dermo. You know who's somebody who cared a little bit, who we let go, who wasn't great for us, but at least he cared? Oliver Skip. There you go.
Yeah, he did. He actually did. He did. I have to go back to the 90s and 80s to find players like the Ray Parlers, like the Steve Bowles, like the Lee Dixons, like a Graham Roberts or Paul Stewart. He cared. Even Gazza cared. Gazza, he cared about Tottenham. He bled for the club. I mean, my biggest time supporting Tottenham was when we beat you lot in the semi-final of the FA Cup in 1991, when Gazza scored that, stopped you doing the double. Yeah, okay, you won the league that year, but we won the FA Cup and we stopped you doing the double. We were the leading winners of the FA Cup when we last won an FA Cup. Who's leading it now? You guys. Yeah. With 14. I think you're one of the top 2 or 3.
Yeah.
But it's recruitment. You look at, wasn't it the other day, Tequila, it was mentioned about when we appointed Mourinho and you appointed Arteta around the same time. And you look at the money that's spent. And if you're ready,
it's very even. The amount spent, the actual transfer fees, maybe not the wages, but the actual amounts on transfer fees, not that big a difference.
There isn't actually. If you have a look at that over the Premier League era, I think Tottenham has spent more money than Arsenal.
Yeah.
So it's got to be when you turn around and say, well, what is it? What is that? That kind of money alone doesn't do it.
No.
It's it's got to be. 'Cause I think it's not only because we've all signed, like United. I'm sorry to keep going to United as the example, but they've signed Xerxes and this, that, and the other. And sometimes that player isn't a rubbish player just because they're not working well in your team. I've defended Arsenal players with this same thing in Arsenal chats. Sometimes it is just the right system, the right stage, the right moment that unlocks a player. And I think in the wrong environment and the wrong dressing room, like Torreira, do you remember our Uruguayan midfielder Torreira? Brilliant player. I felt like if he joined Arsenal in the Arteta era, he wouldn't have left Arsenal. He would have settled. He would have fought, and all the rest of it. Do you agree with that, Bren?
Well, I think he could have still left. I reckon.
Okay.
Maybe if he was signed in 2020 or 2021, yes. But if he was signed in 2022, 23, I think he'd still be with us now because I thought he was an important player. And
it's just the atmosphere in dressing room, isn't it?
Yeah,
it was something like that. But I think it's sometimes like Willian. I think it's when you walk into a dressing room and it's like, no, this isn't right for me. This isn't focused. This is maybe a bit toxic. This is kind of divided. I think it makes it hard to settle. And I think our environment for all of us to feel confident and thrive and perform is very, very important, especially footballers. And I think that's something that Tottenham need to look at. I think Tottenham need to look at because that's the thing. If Arteta left at the end of the season potless, it is a big negative for him. However, the stuff that he has done from where we were to where we are now and how he has given the club meaning to the players is what a lot of teams in the Premier League need to do. He's done God's work behind the scenes, and I honestly believe that. Whether he's the man that will ultimately land the big prizes, we'll see. If he doesn't this year, that for me is a conversation where it's like, okay, what are we going to do to change this? Because we've given you all the resources. So being upfront and honest. But it is kind of a case of, I do believe the environment and the purpose has to be right. I think that's what you guys need to focus more on.
I don't know if Tequila would agree. I think with Tottenham, I still think we're still in a land of, we're not sure what we want to be. I think we're still very confused identity. Who do Tottenham Hotspur want to be?
Yeah,
we've got this Tottenham way of playing. Do you know what I'm getting, Tequila? We've got this way of playing where fans like me, the older generation of fans, will be want to see Tottenham play the Tottenham way. The younger generation are coming here to say we want to play how football is played now. And I think it's a clash of cultures. And I feel also Tottenham's recruitment has been so bad over the last sort of 8-9 years. We've sacked so many managers. I think it's right. You stand by a manager, you stick by him through thick and thin, you give him the money and you let him do it. I just don't think Thomas Frank's that manager to build the team behind. Tequila, what do you think, bud? Where are you on it? And then I get Brenny and Nick you on that.
I think Enoch, unfortunately, I hate to rabbit on about Levy, especially since he's gone now. I think they are the cause of it because I do think the leadership filters down from the top.
Yeah,
absolutely. I don't believe in. I'm not that superstitious guy. I don't believe in stuff like curses and stuff like that. For what others might call curses, I just call bad leadership. And the leadership comes from the top. And yes, granted, the person involved is gone. It remains to be seen if our fortunes change under new quote unquote leadership, because as me and Domo have discussed, how new this leadership is very, very much up for debate. We'll find out within the next probably 2 years whether or not it is any different. I have my doubts, as is Dermo. So I think that is the general cause for it, because that trickles down and filters down to all the crevices and stuff like that. So I think Tottenham is kind of quite rotten to the core. I don't really think it's the fans' fault. They do play a role, but I think most fans have become so desperate, and I'm afraid that is the word I will use, desperate for success, desperate because we've had to sit and watch our rivals Arsenal kind of come back not from the dead, not like you guys were ever dead, but you were out of it you were out of it for a little while. We were finishing above you in the league for a good 5 or 6 seasons. So for a little while there, we were ahead of you.
Yeah.
And then you guys have come back around and kind of nearly gotten back to your past glories. Not quite, because you haven't won the title, but you're challenging again. And
Yeah.
we've also had to sit and watch Chelsea overtake us. Then Chelsea have faded away for a couple of years. And then look, Chelsea are ahead of us again. So
Yeah.
we've become so desperate now, because almost like, careful what words I use because it's not 9 o'clock, but we've kind of teased a little bit with success. A little bit of a, we'll give you a little bit of a taste. Yeah, you can have a little taste.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then before you have a bit of a taste of the cake, and then you want the rest of it. No, we're gonna take it away from you. So we were teased a little bit with success. With Pochettino, we were close to finally getting proper success. Champions League final, second in the league, third in the league. We were challenging for the title for 2 or 3 seasons there. And then we've slowly receded back to where we are before. So what I mean is all the Spurs fans, none of us have got any patience anymore, because we're all so fed up. We're depressed as well. We're depressed Spurs fans generally, because we see ourselves just receding further and further back. So we've become desperate.
Yeah.
So our patience levels are so low. We're so desperate for instant gratification and instant success. We're seeing it again with Frank. And when Frank gets sacked, probably within the next 2 months, what I think is going to happen, whoever we get then, it will just rinse and repeat until the top, the head of the snake, needs to be cut off.
Yep.
Then I might start believing again. But until that happens, it's snakey in its own tail. Ouroboros, I think it's called. Snakey.
A new manager is just a plaster. It doesn't.
It is. I mean, you look at Arsenal. You look at the Arsenal board. You look at the way they've backed Arteta over the last 8 years.
Yeah.
Yes, he won you an FA Cup. I think that stood him in good stead for a season or two. But they really have backed him, and we've went through more managers in them 8 years. How many managers we've gone through? We went through Mourinho, Conte.
If you count Mason and Stellini, don't we?
Yeah, so you can count them. So that's 5. Nuno 6, Ange 7, and Frank is 8.
If you take that, right, and you turn around and you say you've got Thomas Frank and Ange, you couldn't get 2 different managers in a philosophy of football. So your recruitment goes out and they buy what Ange wants.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then they go out and they buy what Frank was. Now, Thomas Frank wants. Now you've got both those types of philosophies in your squad. Are both is that squad able to facilitate both philosophies? And that's what I mean. You get when you keep changing your manager, it's almost like we had the brilliant Kieran Tierney, conventional left back, up and down. But he wasn't going to get a game at Arsenal because of the inverting role wasn't really him. He was up and down ball. Love the guy, right?
And I hate the inverted role, by the way.
Yeah, but he didn't fit that, did he, Bren? And so he almost became, the system evolved and he didn't. And so he wasn't going to be that guy for us. Fantastic player, but didn't fit the system anymore and didn't really get on with the inverting. And I think sometimes that happens in these teams that go through 1 manager, 2 manager, 3 manager, 4 manager.
100%, Nick.
And then you just got this collection of dead wood, and then some of them identify with what a manager is saying, and all of a sudden it clicks, and they're able to facilitate. And it might be a change of position, a change of role, a change of idea, and they're able to just latch on and get there. And then there are others that are just like, they feel despondent and lost, and I think that's the danger, and I think that's what happens in a lot of squads.
Perfect example.
I agree.
Perfect example was and Dermo remembers this a couple of years ago when Conte, just before Conte, self-destructed himself. We signed Pedro Porro on a loan to buy that summer, right? So we got him on a loan. He was a right wing back designed for a 3-5-2 system.
Yeah.
And also we had Destiny and Doggy coming in the summer, who was signed as a left wing back, not a left back. A left wing back specifically for this season. A month or so later, Conte was out. Porro had been here a month, and Doggy hadn't even arrived. We wasted 80 million, 90 million for them both for 2 positions, which no longer we were going to use because we changed the manager. It's insanity. It's actual insanity if you really look at it.
Look, as much as I love to sit here and slag you guys off, I have to sit here and admire what you guys have done. And that hurts me to say that. And I find it hard to say I admire what Arsenal are doing. But you've got to look at it. You've done it right. You've done it right with the manager. You backed him. You backed him with the players he wanted, went out and spent the money. You went out and paid these £100 million. You went and spent 100 million for
Nice.
Declan Rice. You went and spent 80 million on this player, 60 million on that player. You overspent. You've spent a lot in the summer windows. You look at this last summer, you look at Eze. We diddled around Eze. We could have got Eze.
Yeah.
We diddled around of it, and then suddenly it goes to you lot. Do you think yesterday's North London derby, it's a yes or no answer to this question, but something that was in my head. I've got 2 points to it. The first point is, do you think Eze was the difference between Arsenal winning and Tottenham losing yesterday? I know he scored a hat-trick, but if you think of the player who Eze is, do you think that was the difference yesterday, quality-wise?
I think it's more complicated than that. He was
Probably.
he undoubtedly had a good game, and he was composed in key moments. So from away, you could very easily go and say yes. And if this was banter season and we wanted to poke the open wound, we'd be like, "Oh, you didn't sign him. Look what happened."
Why don't you? Me and Tequila are waiting for this, aren't we? We're
No,
waiting for it.
I'm just not that guy. I'm not that guy. I like to talk football without having to.
I used to be that guy.
And I think it's just like the whole thing that went right for Arsenal was like a million pieces were put in place and it worked for us yesterday. Do you know what I mean? It's more than just one thing. Eze might have been the tip of the spear that worked yesterday for us, but the positioning he was taking up, the way that Marino was dropping off more like a false nine into midfield and all the rest of it, the other things that was working around that was more than just Eze. The way that Timber and Saka and that right side, oh my gosh, and how that was working and the way we was working the ball, it's more than Eze, but he was just he really clicked and he was the focal point on the day. On another day, that could have been Trossard, that could have been Saka.
Exactly that. I was just about to say that as well. If Eze didn't score with that hat-trick yesterday, I still think he would have been involved in our goals. You know what I mean? I still think he would have had a couple of assists.
Yeah,
we would have definitely, found 2 or 3 goals in us, really.
And we were missing key players. I mean, no Odegaard, no Gabriel, no Gyökeres, no Havertz. I'm so excited to have Havertz back. Really ridiculously so. I'm so excited about what Eze and Havertz and Gyökeres looks like in the same team. There's so many different blends we've got coming. And I think it is, if you said, right, Nick, you're in charge of Tottenham, people have got to go and do a hearts and minds with these players and say, why are you here? Is it money? Because you can earn money anywhere. And
it is money.
And you've got to remind them that you've only got so many years of your career.
Yeah.
Don't you want to win things? Don't you want to look back and say you achieved something? And I think that's what it needs to happen. It needs to be on that level, and that all needs to be unified and pushed in the right direction. And if you think what Thomas Frank done with Brentford, why can't he do that with your club? I just think it gets to each point that you hire a new manager and it's like, we've got our new saviour. This is going to be it. And then indefinite, there's going to be the teething period where it's the old squad has to transition to the new ideas. Then you get injuries that really, I mean, Arteta hasn't been able to play his attacking football that he has wanted to play this year because of our front line injuries. And I think there are things in your midfield build-up that Thomas Frank hasn't been able to execute yet. Losing Maddison and Kulusevski, they are 2 big misses for you, and how you transition the ball. Yeah. And I think you've just got, I think you've just got to, it was like with Ange, you went through all that pain for all that time. He gets you, you land that trophy. was it the right? Do you know what I mean? Was
Yeah,
it like? Do you know where I'm going? You go through
I
that
do.
period, and it's almost like stick with it. Just see where it goes. One more year, and it's always that death by hope, isn't it?
Yeah,
one more,
it is.
one more.
I mean, with
we're in the
Ange,
same place with you with Arteta.
yeah,
You
I know.
we're so close. We're so close. We can touch it, feel it. And when I was hearing Tequila talk, Bren, we're no different, are we? We're just in a different position. We're in first and seconds,
Yeah,
and we're in the exact same position. We really are.
I think with Ange, I do think with Ange though, I think his course had run. I mean, Tequila would tell you. I mean,
Yeah,
you
me
were
and
done.
Dermo are quite different on the Ange stuff. Yeah, I'm.
Yeah. And it is quite funny with Thomas Frank. Me and Tequila have turned 180, where now I'm in Tequila's place and he's in my place. That I'm done with Frank. I think he needs to go. And Tequila says, no, he needs a window. It is funny how football can turn its head.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is.
It is. I get you though. I get you though, Dermot. I really do get you in that sense. But then I look at it as well, and I'm thinking, well, one, you've got the players, you've got a squad to prop up the table. I don't think you won't be 17. Yeah, exactly. Bobby's club. But yeah, so you've still got the Champions League. You're unbeaten in the Champions League, aren't you?
Yeah.
So there is that. Yeah. Well, that's just a tough.
Yeah.
That's a tough game anyway.
That's just a case of turning up and getting beaten. Guys, look, we are going to end off this stream. I got one question left for you guys. The 21st of February, it is the return. So hopefully you guys will come back on when we do the pre-match.
Oh, absolutely. I'll take my minutes if we've been beaten.
Yeah, 100%. I was thinking, why is that date up there? I thought that was your birthday or something.
No.
It will be if they win.
No, my birthday's on the 5th of February, so that will be an extra late thing.
Okay.
I just want to bring up very quickly what Thomas Frank said yesterday about the derby. He said, what disappointed you most about the derby's performance? Where I should start this, of course, hugely disappointed that we didn't perform better in the game against Arsenal, our biggest rivals. I can only apologise to the fans for that. I'm very confident on Friday when we spoke that we would be competitive today and weren't over this 90 minutes. We tried to come here and be aggressive and press high. I don't know what you're aggressive and press where. I don't know what you're watching. And in spells, so the Grafton, we didn't succeed with that bit. We didn't manage to get near enough them in the situations. And then we had Vicario come out as well. It says, Vicario, a member of the Tottenham Hotspur leadership group. Now, Tequila, you have a problem with this leadership group. I know you do. That will be...
Yeah, you need to be a leader, firstly, to actually be in the leadership group. We have no leaders. So that's a problem right there.
Yeah. Me and Tequila are going to do a video on this, by the way. Basically, he's apologizing again. I don't want to hear their apologies. I've had enough of it. I want to put it to the end, to the back of my mind. The North London derby's done. You won. Congratulations to the pair of you down below. Go and collect your silverware in May. Me and Tequila will be sitting crying in the corner of North London while you're having your trophy parade. One quick question. We all got Champions League games this week, guys. So we're going to just end up on that. Score predictions. Tequila, we've got PSG away. What's your score prediction for that, bud?
3-0.
Where's your score prediction? Where can people find you?
3-0 to PSG. That's me being generous. You could easily double that. You can find me at the Play Pouch, where me and some other 40-year-old nerds play video games. South Park coming up this week. Cheers.
Yeah.
No problem. Brenny, you have Bayern Munich. What's your score prediction, bud? And where can people find you?
2-1. 2-1. I think we'll win 2-1. Yeah, it won't be easy. I think I'd say 2-1. And yeah, you can find me on my own channel, of course, Brenny K74. Like, share, and subscribe, please, to me, and like, share, and subscribe to these legends here. Always have an amazing time every time I come on here. And you can find me on X. You can also find me on Instagram Threads, and I've been doing a little TikTok as well. So you can also find me on the Football Takeover.
Football Takeaway, a great channel, a brilliant channel, the Football Takeaway. Sorry, Takeover. Nick, me old mucker. Where
yeah,
can
sorry, go
people find you, Bud? And what's your score prediction for Wednesday?
I think 2-2. I can just say it's got a draw written all over it for me. Don't know why. I've just got the feeling that it will be a 2-2. And as for where people can find me, I kind of drift around the internet, you know. I just whoever adds me, bit of a whore that way. I'll just turn up and you know.
We did find him round the corner.
You just follow the money, Nick. Yeah.
Me and Tequila did find Nick sitting round the corner out of a soup kitchen and just said, "Would you like to come up?" We gave him his Arsenal shirt. He's not really an Arsenal.
No, it's not even mine. This is cool.
No, and he supports Bognor Regis. That's who he supports. So
brilliant team.
Yeah. So you can find him in the soup kitchen somewhere around Highbury. That's where he is. No, he's not. Sorry, Nick. I'm only joking. But Tequila, I'm going for a 1-1 draw.
You're like a weeble, aren't you?
I don't know how
down and you just spring right back up.
Based on Dermo, my friend.
Yeah.
Based on what?
Because I never back my team to lose. I can't back my team to lose.
Why do you think they're only going to? Have you seen? Do you know the players that PSG have? Do you think they're only going to get one goal?
I cannot back my team to lose, Tequila. I know we're going to lose, right?
And who's going to score up? Do you think Richarlison's going to do that again anytime soon?
No, I cannot back my team to. I know we're going to get pumped. I know we're probably going to get bashed 4-0 or something stupid like that. But I don't know. I can't back my team to lose.
I don't know if it is a Spursy thing that you're going to go and win 2-1. Do you know what I mean? It is that sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
It really is. And it's going to be a Papsar double or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It really is.
Probably.
And then it'll just be,
if you really want me...
Then you're going to go and get spanked by Fulham. That's what will happen.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah. I'd be honest then, the kid. I'll go for a 2-0 PSG win, but I'd be happy now.
Well, you'll be closer. Yeah.
I'm trying not to believe it, so I don't feel dirty. But guys, that is it. We're bouncing out of here. Not on tomorrow. It's me and Mrs. Trump's anniversary tomorrow, so I'm having a night off. We are back Wednesday with the watch along, and also we are back on Thursday with me and Tequila. Hopefully Thursday with the player ratings. Friday, we're going to do all the build-up for the game on Saturday. And then Saturday, we've got Fulham. So a lot going around the next week. Please get over and follow the guys over in the Football Takeover. Sorry, I don't want to keep calling it Takeaway, but Takeover. And follow Tequila over in the Play Pouch. Whatever you do, just keep positive. We will get there eventually. Tequila, do you want to take us out, bud?
Sure thing, mate. Sean Dice ain't a better manager than me, mate. If I came back tomorrow, we'd beat PSG 5-0, mate. Just who we are, mate.
I always wanted to. I miss season 3. Just give me season 3.
Season 4 better than season 3, mate.
Is it? Oh, I can't wait for season 4 now. Good night. Good luck to the Arsenal boys.
Thank you.
Eat nails,
I
hope Bayern Munich stuff you 5-0 on that bombshell. See you later. Bye.
With the pride of the fight on this journey